Hello, we are back. Today we are going to work with the lower leg. So the goal, maybe for the next few days, is going to work our way kind of mobility, soft tissue from the ground up. So we're going to start with the lower leg and the foot. Okay. I have my demonstrators today. We're going to go through a little procedure here of working soft tissue and some mobility of our foot and lower leg. So we'll walk through this. We're going to roll the bottom of our foot, spread, stretch our toes, roll the lower leg, work on our calf raises, and then we'll continue. I'll tell you about completing the previous workout. So you'll need some sort of a ball, maybe a yoga block, and a foam roller, or at least some of that. You don't need all of it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on rolling the bottom of our foot. Come on, move up a little bit, ladies. So with your ball, preferably on a firm surface, back up a little bit, okay? Preferably on a firm surface, take like a golf ball or a tennis ball, and I just want you to go ahead and roll the bottom of your foot. Roll that arch. Go ahead, Reese, roll yours, okay? But I want you to focus on kind of that inside lateral arch, also the heel and across the bottom of your foot. Go ahead and just create some good pressure on there. If you need to balance on something, go ahead and hold on, but just pressurize the foot, move the ball around, creating some pressure. You can do this for a couple minutes. This is pretty dense tissue down here. It'll help to kind of relieve some of that, help the health of your feet, your toes, your ankles, all that. Also, just pause for a moment and then take your toes and curl your toes around the ball. Okay? Curl your toes and lift your toes. Curl your toes, lift your toes. There you go. Just that idea of grabbing, like you're trying to grab with your toes. Okay? So that'll be the first part. We'll do that for, it's up to you, maybe a minute, maybe a few minutes. Okay? Then you'll go ahead and have a seat. Go ahead and sit down, girls. And what we're going to work on is actually stretching our toes. So you can go ahead and take your hand, okay, come from the bottom, put your finger between the small toe, the next, all the way up and through, okay? And now what we can do is we can kind of almost feel like we're wringing out our foot. Okay, can you wring your foot out, girls? I'm turning my foot, I'm bending my toes back and forth. Just trying to get some range of motion in the foot. Trying to get our toes to move. They should be able to be flexible and move. And a lot of times what happens is that foot gets really stiff. Okay, so it should be able to wring out like you're wringing out a dish rag. Okay, so go ahead. There's not a lot of movement. Don't expect a ton of movement, but go ahead and let that move around a little bit. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and we're going to just separate our toes. So if I'm here, I just want to go ahead and pull them apart. Pull them apart. Good. And just get those toes moving. Right? Okay. They're all important, but really what happens a lot of times is that big toe gets really stiff. And we want that to be able to move because this initiates kind of that glute to fire. This is the first line of extension. So for the health of our body, our low back, and just everything, we want this to be able to extend. Now, the girls are really good at this, and we all start with this. Can you spread your toes open for me, Aubrey, and then close them? Just like our hands, we should be able to do that with our toes. Now, because of stiffness, shoe styles, where our shoes old days used to wear them really a tight toe box. That's going to squeeze your toes together. That's going to limit that. So it's good to let your toes open up and spread out. If you can wear a wide toe box shoe, that helps. Because they should be able to spread. Now mine don't spread quite that well either, but something's better than nothing. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and move on to rolling our lower leg. So Aubrey's going to use a yoga block or some sort of a block with a small ball, which would be a little bit more intense and deeper. And we're going to focus on the lower portion of the lower leg here, which directly influences your ability for your ankle to move. Okay. Reese is using just a general foam roller. This is a little bit smaller one that fits her, but any foam roller works. Right? And so we're going to go ahead and just work that tissue area a little bit in that lower leg. Okay? Couple things when we're working through there. If it's sore, it's tender, let it sit, let it simmer, breathe into your belly, and let it relax. And also we want to be able to kind of hold the lower leg and then circle your foot, right? Do a lot of circles. Get that movement going through the ankle and through the foot. One common mistake is if it gets sore or tight, people are going to keep their toe pulled to their shin as they roll. Try to let this foot relax and then just move your leg. So you're not pulling your toe to your shin unless you're doing circles. And we do that on both sides. And once again, just take your time, kind of let some tissue release. You can work up a little bit higher as well, kind of into more of the gastroc, so higher. In particular up here, kind of just below the knee on either side. So pretty high. And same thing, let that sink in, watch your toe, so it's not pointing straight up. And then go ahead and do some gas pedals. Can you, yeah, back and forth, Aubrey. Good. There you go. Very good. Nice job. Okay. Nice. And the ankle circles that's on the list, that's included in that lower leg rolling, right? So you're just going to circle your ankles as you roll. And finally, in this portion, what we're going to do is we want to just strengthen the lower leg, the feet, and stretch them. So we're going to do some calf raises. You certainly can just use a stair, but come on the stair here. We're just using the balance beam today. And so what I want you to do is go all the way up on the balls of your feet, nice and high, engage your lower leg, stretch your toes, and then sink down and let them stretch. So calf stretch, hold that for about 5 seconds, come back up, activate the lower leg, and back down, stretch them out. And you can do anywhere, 10 reps, 12 reps, something like that, just to get them working a little bit. So here's the list. And what I would encourage you to do, if you have time, you can work through that maybe in 5 minutes or so again, is to come back and complete yesterday's workout number 3, right? That's the kind of the neurological stuff. That's the stuff that kind of helps keep our mobility. So work through the soft tissue, mobility stuff, and then go back and do your breathing, rolling, rocking, and hip hinge practice. And we will keep working through the body and work our way up. You girls say thanks?
Thanks.
Thank you.